Hello viewers, this is Not Too Fast here. In today's video I'll be changing out the front brake and rotor on this 2017 Nissan Pathfinder. Now the procedure I'll be showing you applies to 2013 to 2020 Nissan Pathfinder, and this is the same procedure for the Infiniti QX60. So let's get started. Now currently on this vehicle I have 55,000 miles, so it's time to do the service before it wears down to bare metal. I'll use my floor jack to jack up the front of the vehicle. Right here in the middle there's a cross member you can put a jack underneath and jack up the entire front end. Put jack stands underneath the pinch weld and then lower the vehicle onto the jack stands. Put wheel chock on the back wheel. Now in this video you'll see me use a cordless electric impact gun like this to remove the bolts, but if you don't have one you can use a regular wrench to remove these lug nuts and bolts. Now I want to take a minute to talk about whether you need to remove this cap on this brake fluid reservoir when you're doing a brake service. Now some people recommend you remove the cap, put some towel underneath, so when you compress the caliper, the brake fluid will rise up and could possibly overflow. That will only happen if you or some mechanic at a shop topped off the brake fluid when it went down. Now keep in mind, when you use your brake and the brake pad wears down, the brake fluid will go down in level. But if you leave it the way it is and you don't top it off, when you compress the caliper, when you're doing the brake service, the brake fluid will rise back up to normal level. And you won't have the problem of the brake fluid overflowing and dripping all over the engine bay. So if you're not sure if anybody have topped off the brake fluid, you can remove the cap, put some towel underneath, so you won't have a mess of brake fluid overflowing when you're doing the brake service. On this vehicle, I never topped off the brake fluid, so I can just leave the cap on and continue with the brake service. So right here is a brake caliper. On both sides are the brake pads, and this caliper is held in by two 17mm bolts at the back right here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these two 17mm bolts. Now I can slide the caliper off. What you want to do is get a hanger or a bungee cord and hang this caliper up here like this so you don't put tension on the brake hose. Now you can go ahead and remove the brake pads. Now to remove this torque member bracket, there are two 22mm bolts right behind here. These bolts are on very tight, so if you don't have an impact gun, you'll most likely need a breaker bar to loosen it. Here's a look from the back. This is the two 22mm bolts you need to remove. Now as you can see on mine, it's already coming loose. If yours is stuck on the hub, you can use a hammer or a rubber mallet and tap this area here, or tap the back of the rotor and knock it loose. So let me show you the brake pads and the brake rotor that I'll be using for this brake service. These ones here are made by Centric, and I've been using Centric for many years now, and I'm very happy with the quality. So overall, for the price, they're good. Let me first show you the brake pads. These are the Posi Quiet ceramic pads. The part number is 105.16490. So it comes with two sets. So one box is good for both left and right side. Also comes with the hardware that you need to install. Now let me show you the brake rotor. The brake rotor part number is 120.42120. And here's a look at one of the rotor. So let's have a look at the old and the new brake pads. Now these ones in the middle here are the original Nissan brake pads. As you can see, they're worn down quite a bit. And here's a look at the new one. Now when you're looking at the old brake pad, one thing you want to check is make sure there are no uneven wear on one side to the other or top to bottom. If there are uneven wear on it, that might be because the sliding area at the top and bottom was not lubricated well and it's not sliding. And also you can check the caliper to make sure it's not stuck. Looking at the hub surface, you see there's some surface rust on here. You want to clean all that off. So when you install the new rotor, you know it's going to be flush against the surface and you won't have any vibration. You can use a combination of sandpaper and wire brush to clean the surface. After it's clean, spray some brake clean on it. Next, I like to put a very thin layer of anti-seize on the surface. Don't put a lot, just a little bit. And spread it with your finger. Now make sure you don't get any of the anti-seize onto the thread of the bolts. And right here is the caliper bracket. We'll need to clean up some surfaces on this bracket. First, remove the clip. Now, the other side already came off. Turn this around. Next, you want to remove the slider pin. Pull back on this rubber boots. And slide this off. Now, one thing you notice is this slide pin has a rubber bushing here. This rubber bushing is here to dampen vibration. And you'll find that one slide pin has rubber bushing and the other one does not. So make sure you keep track of which side it came out of. And as you can see, this one does not have the rubber bushing. This side I'm working on right now is the passenger side, and the bolt with the rubber bushing goes on the bottom. Go ahead and get some paper towel and just wipe this clean. Same for the other bolts. Next, take a look at the rubber boot. Make sure it's not cracked or dry rotted. If it is, you need to replace it because you don't want any type of dirt to get in. Now squeeze the end here, and you can pull this boot off. Same thing for this side. To clean the inside of this boot, simply get some paper towel and push it in here. Give it a few squeeze and turn it. Do the same thing for the other one. Now to clean the inside of this, you can spray some brake clean into it. Make sure you wear eye protection because it might splash up and spray into your eye. Now you can reassemble this, reinstall the boots. I'll apply sil-glyde on the slide pin. Now with the sil-glyde, it will not cause this bushing to swell up because if you use other type of synthetic grease, there's a good chance that synthetic grease will cause this bushing to swell up and therefore you cannot reinstall the slide pin. So lubricate this entire slide pin here. So a slide pin with a rubber bushing goes on the bottom. Lubricate the other slide pin. Make sure it slides in and out easily. With a new rotor, you want to spray some brake clean on it, clean it, and wipe it dry. Do both sides. Now install it. Where the middle clip will be installed, you can use a wire brush and just clean the area. Do the same on the other side. Now put a small amount of synthetic brake grease onto the surface. Now you can install the new metal clips. Now reinstall the bracket. Those two 22mm bolt at the back needs to be torqued down to 107 foot-pounds. Here I have a torque wrench. I'll be using this torque wrench to torque it down. On the new brake pad, put a little bit of brake grease on the end right here. Here I'll install the outside brake pad. Now looking at this, there are two clips here. This clip on the outside here goes underneath, and this clip on the inside is on top. This inside pad, lubricate both ends just like the outside one. Here's a look at the inside pad. And just like the outside pad, make sure the top clips are seated in properly. Now before you install the caliper, you have to compress these two pistons back in. To do that, I'll use this compression tool. Take one of the old brake pad, put it here, place the tool in between. Now turn this and screw this down. This will apply pressure onto both pistons. You might need to switch it to the other side. And compress it until it's completely flush. Put a little bit of brake grease on the surface. And same thing on the opposite side. This will help dampen any vibration or noise. Now you can reinstall the caliper. These two bolts need to be torqued down to 45.6 foot-pounds. Repeat the same procedure on the driver's side. Now we can put the wheel back on. I'll tighten the lug nuts to 85 foot-pounds once I have the tire back on the ground. Now you don't need to drop it all the way down, but once the tire makes contact with the ground, I'll go ahead and torque down the lug nuts. Remember to remove the wheel chock. Now before you start driving, you need to pump the brake a few times so the caliper and the brake pads are seated in. Go ahead and pump the brake a couple times. You feel it stiffen up. Once it's stiff, then it's good. If you have this vehicle and you want to do the service, I hope you found this video to be helpful. Now if you're interested in getting the Centric brake pad and brake rotor along with some of the tools used in this video, check out the links in the video description below. If you have any questions or comments, leave one in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. To support this channel, remember to click on thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you get notified of new videos.